Does the chance to see Africa's wildlife in their natural habitat appeal to you? Have you ever considered going on a safari? Well, this has been on our bucket list for a long time, and we headed to Sebatana Private Reserve in South Africa for our first ever safari experience. So did this dream holiday live up to the expectations we had? Keep watching to see our experiences and whether our dreams actually came true.
Our adventure started with a night flight from Heathrow to Johannesburg with Virgin Atlantic. Check-in and security at the airport was easy, and we were surprised to find we had plenty of time to kill at the airport before the flight.
Right, so we're so excited, we're getting ready for our safari. We've been through the baggage drop-off and we've done security as well. So easy, really easy. And the gentleman, we're about 4 hours early, so we said, are we too early? And his answer to that was, no, you're never too early as long as you're travelling today. So all good all round.
We ate in Wagamama's before boarding and soon found ourselves up in the air and trying to fathom out how to contort ourselves into a position that would allow us to get some sleep. The 10 3/4 hour flight through the night didn't yield much sleep, sadly, but the entertainment was good and the breakfast tasty enough to be demolished before we remembered to photograph it.
Landing at Johannesburg on day 2, we were glad to be in South Africa. Queues for immigration were lengthy, but after approximately 45 minutes we collected our cases and were greeted by the team from Sebatana Lodge for our transfer, and some African beats welcomed us. Then we were escorted to our minibus. Be warned though that you'll be pestered by taxi drivers and people offering to porter your cases for money. The Sebatana guides were pretty fierce in how they dealt with them, and we were soon aboard and heading north. This was a long minibus journey though, first through Pretoria, South Africa's capital city, and onward along the freeway with its long straight roads and seemingly endless views across South Africa's rolling plains.
We were travelling in December, which is South Africa's summer. However, we noticed rain clouds, storms and lightning strikes as we drove.
This 5.5 hour minibus journey was broken up with a stop for the toilet at a service station and a stop at a roadside restaurant for a sandwich and a glass of champagne.
You enjoying that, Si?
Cheers!
As we got further into the South African countryside, the tarmac disappeared and we found ourselves on dirt tracks. Wildlife sightings also happened. Excitement was well and truly building.
We finally arrived at Sebatana Private Reserve, where we received a very warm welcome from the team there.
And we've been given a nice cold flannel as we came in and a nice cocktail. Cheers.
We went to our room but didn't get much time to unpack though before we had to attend a briefing on the rules of the resort, and our first meal also, which was an
avocado starter, kudu steak main and a creme brulee dessert.
All washed down with some tasty cocktails before turning in for some much needed sleep, even though the storms and the lightning raged overhead. Our journey to Sebatana had taken over 24 fairly exhausting hours, but we realised we had travelled deep into South Africa's beautiful countryside, and that is what we had come for, hoping to wonder at the amazing wildlife.
First though, sleep beckoned. So what a night of storms we had.
I wouldn't know, I slept like a baby.
Well, I woke thinking you're snoring again, but it was actually thunder.
Anyhow, a 9 AM breakfast was a real treat with a really good spread provided. Then we got packed and joined our first drive, which was out into the reserve for a briefing.
There were 27 of us in the lodge and we split equally into 3 adapted Toyota Land Cruisers. This bumpy ride was an experience, and we quickly understood why they call this the African massage.
At our briefing point, the plan for our week was explained fully, and we also received a briefing on South African geography, quite interesting. Then a tour of one of the other lodges in the reserve and the spa area. Well, here we are, it's our first morning. We've just been up and we've had a briefing on the week. Sounds really exciting.
It does sound so exciting, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they've given us a little bit of a drive around. We've got to see a giraffe on the way around, which is absolutely fabulous.
2 babies.
2 babies as well. Really good. Sun's out, it's very warm. We're going to have a look at the shop now, and then we've got our first proper game drive this afternoon.
We had a little look in the spa, didn't we?
The spa looks nice.
Yeah.
They
said they'd give you a discount on the hairdresser part.
They took one look at my old head and said I would qualify for a discount on hairdressing, so that was fun. Yeah, really nice place, really nice resort. I'm really looking forward to the game drives in particular, especially as we just drove around, weren't really looking, and there were the giraffes. Amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. And it's a nice group as well. There's 27 of us in our group.
Yeah, and we're in a car. How many's in our car?
9 in the car.
9, isn't it? Yeah, and we've got a nice little group there.
And we're with them all week, and we've got the same guide all week as well. Colin. He's
Shout out
really
to
good.
Colin.
Shout out to Colin. Any rate, stay tuned and we will show you some more fun and adventures in South Africa.
So, Si, is it worth guessing what you bought in the shop?
So we've been shopping already. Obligatory hat and obligatory fridge magnet. All done.
Then a walk back to Elephant Lodge, where lunch was served, and this was a tasty spread. And we could quickly see that it's hard not to eat as much as an elephant when staying at Elephant Lodge.
After lunch, we had an hour and a half to chill. Many guests took to the swimming pool, but we just chilled and caught up with messaging the family and enjoyed a cocktail.
What have you spotted, Si?
So we've just spotted some monkeys over the way, just on the outskirts of the perimeter fence. So we're going to go over and have a look and see what we can see.
So we walked to the nearby hide to see that they were a troop of baboons, all playing and doing what baboons do. So, Si, what's happening now?
So we're just going out on our first proper game drive. I wonder what we're going to see.
And we boarded our jeep and headed off into the reserve.
All 3 jeeps separated as they explored the reserve, but they kept in radio contact to inform each other if there were any special sightings. And as we bounced and rolled our way into the bush, we first spotted impala, but were then amazed when we quickly encountered a family of giraffe. These elegant giants are simply mesmerising.
We then stopped at an enclosure used to assist with animal welfare and tick removal, when one of the party had spotted a very sprightly tortoise that was scampering away when it heard the jeep, then to a watering hole, and it was the throng of birdsong that initially grabbed our attention, as a tree full of weaver birds were busy at work making their nests.
But lurking in the waterhole was a predator, and Colin sternly instructed that nobody was to get out of the jeep. A male crocodile was lurking beneath the waters, watching us carefully and no doubt doing a bit of menu planning.
Then a few yards away from the watering hole, Mummy Crocodile was on her nest, sat on eggs. Wow, what a sight! And baby crocs were enjoying themselves at the water's edge.
And in a tree near the waterhole was a tree with a vast nest adorning it. This nest takes 2 years to build by the hammercock bird, and we noticed one of the nest's owners peeking out to see who was visiting. Once he was satisfied we were not a threat, both parents decided to leave the nest to feed at the water's edge. This was quite a sight, and these birds had an interesting hammer-shaped head.
We left this scene in awe as we continued our journey into the bush. Mountain zebra was seen, but used the bush cover well to remain a little elusive.
Then a clearing created by the reserve and blue wildebeest were grazing. Spectacular. We alighted the jeep and took in our surroundings. So far so good. We've seen blue wildebeest, crocodiles, zebra, giraffes. That's okay. Weaver birds, you carry on. All good. Oh yeah. It's been a bounty of wildlife. Fantastic.
Back aboard our jeep we saw some kudu and more impala in the distance, and then one of nature's great sights, a pair of dung beetles rolling a ball of impala dung across the sandy ground to make a nest. This was an incredible experience, and this was exactly what we came here for.
The sun was beginning to set, and the dramatic scenery added to the wonder of what we were experiencing. Then more zebra, just grazing in a clearing, with warthog also grazing nearby.
As we headed back to Elephant Lodge, more impala appeared, and this was a lovely end to a brilliant drive, and we didn't want it to end.
A quick change of clothing and another lovely meal with a great choice on the menu too. And the group was buzzing, swapping stories and photos of what we just experienced.
Cocktails and wines to finish off, but we knew we had an early start in the morning, and the bedroom beckoned with sweet dreams of more African adventures.
Day 4 started early and with a fair degree of confusion, as the resort had issued most of the guests with the wrong itinerary paperwork. This meant an earlier start than advertised and a very rushed breakfast before boarding the minibus to Sebatana Private Reserve. Well, it's just gone 6 in the morning. We're leaving for this well-confident drive half an hour ahead of what we were told, so we're a bit bleary-eyed. A very rushed breakfast, and on the bumpy roads I think we're going to need the Rennie today. So, oh god, bloody hell. Anyway, looking forward to this. This is our first of the big 5 game drives. See how we get on.
A 30-minute bumpy ride to the reserve followed with a comfort break before boarding jeeps as we headed into the mountainous reserve.
This was a different sort of drive, as we were specifically targeting the big 5. This meant that we sped past countless impala, warthog, wildebeest and zebra as we kept our eyes peeled for the big five, and at last a sighting, a white rhino in the distance. Massive though. So we're chasing down the big five. Now we've just seen a white rhino. We're speeding through the unforgettable reserve at quite a pace actually. It's quite a bumpy ride, but really the sights are incredible. The scenery is fantastic. Okay, one ticked off. Let's see how many we get.
Onwards we went, then a jackal ran past.
On we went, and we came to an abrupt stop when two white rhinos emerged from the bush.
This was a spectacular setting, and we were loving this. On we went, and then, oh my gosh! We sat in awe as the poor impala had just become lunch, and the cheetah, still panting from the chase, slowly cooled down before deciding to tuck in. We could hear the sound of the crunching bones as it ate.
Then off again, all warthogs and zebra, and then we parked up at a large watering hole. And this was the only place where we were allowed to leave the vehicle, and our guides served up some drinks and some snacks.
The zebra eventually left us, but the warthog was enjoying the attention, and after rolling and rubbing himself in all the mud, came over to see what all the fuss was about. Warthog selfie time!
Back aboard the jeeps we sped on further into this beautiful park, more rhinos and a water buck too. Then on to another watering hole, and what's that underneath the water? And this time 2 hippos were keeping an eye on us. Amazing. These 3 hours had simply flown past, but it was time to leave Welgovernon and head back to Sebatana.
We drove out to the reserve and boarded the minibus back to Sebatana.
So did you enjoy that?
Absolutely amazing, and my highlight was seeing cheetah. It was absolutely fabulous.
Back at Sebatana we waited and chilled in the bar with a beer whilst lunch was being prepared. Steak and chips for lunch, that can't be bad.
And the rest of the day was our own. So after a very early start, some chilling by the pool was definitely in order. What's next, guys?
Well, we're going to take a little short walk. One of the things about here, there's a couple of little walking trails apparently. We're not sure we're going to do it all, but we're going to start doing this one called the Kudu Trail. We've got to go out the gate. We can already see something waiting for us the other side.
It's going to be interesting. I think.
Looks like an impala.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll video what we can on the way around.
We have to open this gate to get through.
Apparently we do. It just slides.
Here we go. Here we go.
After you. Literally, we're just the other side of the gate, and I've just seen a herd of, I think, kudu. I think they are. Just by a little feeding area. They've seen us coming. They're not sure about us.
They've got massive ears.
They've got big ears.
Yeah.
Nettie's going to do some filming. We'll lay it over the top.
Oh, it's a baboon, load of baboons.
Oh look, up ahead, we think there are some baboons. Now we've got to be a bit careful with them because they can be aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll approach with caution. So the baboons were just here. It does look as though they've scarfed and disappeared into the bush. Some have gone to our right, some have gone to our left. You can just about see them down in here. There's one just disappearing down into the trees over there. There's 2 down there. Another one over behind us.
You can hear them.
You can hear them. Right, there's some impala to our right.
And baboons.
And more baboons. You can hear the birds calling as well. Okay, they've seen us coming and they don't want us to get too close. So we're following the Kudu Trail supposedly, and you've got these little marks on the trees that let you know you're still on the right trail.
Which we are, thank
Well,
goodness.
we're just discussing, we're quite pleased there's no lions in this reserve. We wouldn't be that happy about that.
Probably wouldn't come out in it.
Don't really want to be a lion's dinner tonight. But, you know, we know there's some great animals here for us to see. We've seen loads already. So Nettie's been fascinated by these mounds that we see all over the place. I think it's the termite mounds. It's going to have a closer inspection. What can you see?
Wow. I don't know. There's like holes in them. I will video it.
Take some footage, we'll show the viewers. Enjoying your walk?
I am, and I'm quite surprised that we haven't seen any snakes yet.
Don't speak too soon.
But I'm quite pleased, actually.
It's a nice trail. It's quite, it's quite flat. It's sort of a sandy sort of dirt track that we're following. Seen by the sort of the game drive jeeps, isn't it? Okay, change of direction here. Let's get our bearings.
Oh yeah. Look at this river. It's as dry as a bone.
So assuming this river still flows in heavy rains, it's dry as a bone now. So this is one of these kind of corral type enclosures that they build. And apparently periodically they herd the larger game in here, and they get sprayed as they go in there with this kind of spray that combats
Simon, there's a
ticks.
skull over here.
A skull?
Skull or bones or skeleton
Bones?
Oh, it's the skull of a giraffe.
A giraffe. Okay, let's have a look.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, look
That's
at
the
that.
skull of a giraffe, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly the right size.
And look, it's got the horn bits that giraffes have.
Well, that's a find.
Wow.
Okay, wildlife in action.
Gosh.
Well, there's the hide, just down the road from the bones. Okay, so apparently we've got no big predators in here. But something's taken a giraffe down. Another good old munch. Okay, well, onwards and upwards. Well, we're still going. We're on the same trail. We've been walking for nearly half an hour, and the sunlight is just starting to wane.
Which means the mozzies are starting to come out.
The mozzies are out with a vengeance right
you can hear
now.
them.
So we'll probably turn around and go back the way we came, I think. I'm not sure we're going to get all of this done, but I'd rather not be out here in the dark.
No.
All right, okay. Well, if we see anything new on the way back, we'll show you. We didn't get our giraffe selfie.
No,
But
we'll try again another day.
More opportunities tomorrow. We're going on a walk in the morning, apparently. So this is our turning point. We've come across a little building with solar panels on the top, and now we're heading back. Well, this has been a really nice walk. Heading back now to the lodge. As we're finding out, the DEET doesn't make you mosquito proof. Yeah, definitely need to hydrate. It's still in the probably low 30s as we're walking out tonight, even though the sun is setting. There you go, there's some more impalas and a warthog there. How lovely.
Warthogs.
You see them running? They're fun, aren't they?
They are so funny, little Poombas.
So that's it, that's our walk down. We're back at the lodge, and here is the gate. Really nice way to end a fantastic day.
Then back for a shower. Most of the group had opted to do the paid extra excursion for a night safari. Us and a lovely other couple, Ali and Jamie, did not for this and remained behind at the lodge for a somewhat exclusive evening meal. So we're very fortunate tonight. We've got some fantastic company. Ali and Jamie have joined us for dinner tonight. How's your holiday, guys?
Oh, fantastic. As you say, the company, the place, everything's fantastic. And also, if this is, we're the great unwashed left behind, look at the setting we're in. Perfect service, perfect company, and good drinks. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
After, we returned to the hideout to enjoy the African dark skies and moonlight.
Another 5:30 AM start beckoned for the morning's bushwalk, so again we took an early night. Meanwhile, the brilliant Chris, who did attend the night safari, kindly gave us the review of her experience.
So this is Chris, and Chris went on the night safari last night. So Chris, did you have a good time?
It wasn't too bad.
What did you see?
Not a lot.
No.
There were 2 giraffes and a bush baby.
All right, okay. You had a meal as well, yeah?
Oh, the meal was lovely before we went on the safari.
Okay, I think it was the same as we had, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, it was. Okay.
really nice. Enjoyable round the campfire.
Oh, that's nice. All right, thumbs up overall?
Sideways.
Sideways. All right, thanks, Chris.
That's right.
Day 5, and we were loving our safari, but another storm in the night robbed more precious hours of sleep.
Morning face. Sorry about that. It's ridiculous o'clock in the morning. And got
Early, weren't we? We had a storm last night.
lots
so
of
didn't
storms
sleep
last
well.
night, yeah. Lightning, thunder, Anyway, we're going for a bush walk this morning. There's not many people made it up early this morning, so
No, I think there's probably about, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. Probably.
sleep deprivation catching people up. Anyway, I'll let you know how we get on.
This was a fascinating 2.5-hour guided walk with local guides explaining about how nature works in this part of the world, and it was brilliant, with our guides having a deep knowledge passed on through the generations.
We walked deep into the bush, stopping to learn about the plants and the insects, and the animals of course.
We did have a few sightings of animals as we trekked, but this wasn't the point of this activity. It was more to learn about nature and its many wonders.
Then back to the lodge for some much needed rest and relaxation, and we used the rest of the morning to catch up on some of the lost sleep.
Then a swim in the pool before lunch, and drying off in the sun afterwards, with a beer of course.
What's the plan for this afternoon, Si?
So a couple of hours baking by the pool, and it is really hot again. We're just going to go for a little stroll down to one of the other lodges here at the site here, just to go mooch and see what it's like.
So we took a short walk down to Lion Lodge, or what we thought was Lion Lodge, and we had to apologise for being somewhere where we shouldn't have been. Oops.
So we quickly found Lion Lodge after accidentally trespassing on somebody's private property. Mistake, sorry about that if you're watching. But Lion Lodge looks really nice. Looks like it's a resort for the German tourists which are here and they're having a lovely time. They've got a nice sort of balcony area that overlooks like a watering hole. And it seems like impala and other animals come down and sort of feed and drink water and stuff. It looks really, really nice. There's a museum just opposite as well, but that seems to be locked, so we can't seem to get in there. Maybe we need to ask about what the opening times are, so that'd be quite interesting if we can get in.
Then we walked a bit further, and what we thought was a museum was actually the owner's collection of stuffed animals and isn't open to visitors.
Remind me not to have any stuffing with my meal tonight.
Walking a bit further, we encountered some very mischievous vervet monkeys who were throwing fruit at us from the roadside verge and trees. Very cute though.
Then suddenly a large monitor lizard just strolled across in front of us, oblivious to our presence. But when it realised it was going to be on YouTube, it scarpered like it had just committed a burglary. Once back at Elephant Lodge, Saturday Premier League football was playing on the radio, and the boys in our party bonded over beers and goals, whilst the girls also bonded over shots and cocktails.
So what's the plan for tonight, guys?
Okay, we've had a pretty lazy afternoon. It's been really nice, and we're now going to a tribal evening, which is really exciting. So
exciting. I think we're trying the local cuisine, so that should be nice.
And apparently it's quite a show. Anyway, we'll show you as much as we can.
We took a short ride from the lodge to a recreated tribal complex before an introduction to the culture, practices and beliefs of the local Swanee tribe. Some excellent local food was served, which was really tasty.
And the singing and dancing commenced, with the tribe performing over an hour of incredible songs, chants and dances. Take a look.
This was an amazing evening that we didn't want to end, but the storms were getting more intense and we had a 4 a.m. start in the morning.
We returned to our room just as the heavens opened, but we were buzzing with what we had just witnessed.
And we didn't sleep a wink.
Storms all night, got a lot of sleep, and we're up in the dark to go to Pilanesberg, and it's raining.
And the storms had raged all night and caused flooding in the bar and dining areas. Bleary-eyed, we got up at 4 a.m. to get ready for our 5 a.m. start and our journey to Pilanesberg National Park.
The sun did rise and we boarded our minibus again for the 3-hour drive that lay ahead, but in a total surprise we were able to tick off one of the big 5 within a few miles of Sebatana, as we saw a male African elephant on the other side of the roadside fence, happily munching away on a tree.
We stopped and tried to capture his best side for Instagram. It was a long journey to Pilanesberg, with a toilet and chocolate stop halfway. When we arrived, we transferred to a game drive bus and were briefed by our new guide Bernard.
As it is a national park, Pilanesberg is open to the public, who can pay to drive through and spot wildlife. Bernard explained that his experience and radio comms with other guides would help us be more successful in the 3 hours that we had in this vast wilderness, and he wasn't wrong.
Soon after entering, we spotted elephants on the mountain tops, far away, but a reminder that we were in their home and natural habitat.
And then we stumbled on a white rhino who was unflinching at our large bus and noise as he walked out of the bush and across the road in front of us.
Bernard was targeting the big five, but could not drive past a mountain zebra, his favourite animal.
Then onwards, and Bernard got wind of a lion sighting, and we dashed to the suggested spot, which was nearby, fortunately.
2 lions, a male and a female, were some distance away, sheltering under a tree. Clearly visible with binoculars, a good photo image was elusive without a powerful zoom lens. But we stayed a while and enjoyed this beautiful scene.
Leaving the lions behind, we progressed further into the park and encountered another male elephant who was just chilling on the mountainside. And we continued, and more elephants emerged from the bush, a lot more elephants in fact. And in a scene reminiscent of Dumbo, this herd was led by the matriarch. They were moving forward, munching trees as they go, and it was a truly wondrous spectacle.
Then further on we stopped at a hide, overlooking a watering hole, and this was the official place for a toilet stop too.
And afterwards we continued in search of more of the big five, but instead we ticked off one of the little five when we spotted a leopard tortoise.
Then Bernard's radio went off, and Bernard then shouted, "Leopard, hold tight!" He put his foot to the floor, and the bus sped frantically across the park to a spot where a leopard had just been sighted. This was a total thrill ride, and we had to hold on to our seats and our hats.
But Bernard had done this perfectly and delivered us to the exact spot where a leopard was stalking across one of the many plains within the park. Said to be the hardest of the big five to see, this majestic creature is a true phenomenon, and we sat and watched it scan the area for its next meal.
We stayed a while, but more and more buses, jeeps and private cars were arriving at the scene. So we left and were all pleased that we'd seen 4 of the big five.
As we headed back to the park entrance, we stopped by a watering hole which was home to a family of hippos keeping cool in the water rather than risk the midday sun.
And it was sadly time to leave Pilanesberg, and we departed our bus thanking Bernard for being a brilliant guide.
Souvenirs were then bought at the craft market at the park entrance before we started our 3-hour journey back to Sebatana. And the journey was broken up with a meal at the Eagle Mountain Spur Diner, a bit like TGI Fridays. This menu of burgers, chicken and fish was very tasty, and the bill was picked up by Sebatana too.
Once back at Sebatana, we were exhausted and decided to grab some sleep before changing and getting ready for the evening. So how are you feeling, guys?
We've had an amazing day today at Pilanesberg, and we've seen 4 of the big five. Absolutely incredible.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Saw the leopard.
Oh yeah, brilliant day. Really long, really tiring. Got a bit of a kit this afternoon.
Absolutely exhausted.
Definitely do with a bit more sleep.
Yeah.
They've just summoned us for dinner, so we're going to go and have a meal. I can't believe
Eat more food.
they've fed us so much.
They're
so
definitely
much food.
feeders.
I know. There's been first breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, afternoons. I mean, it's been there's so much food. Anyway, lovely day. And another meal tonight, and then we got a breakfast brunch in the morning, haven't we? Okay.
Interesting.
Stay tuned.
So that evening we had our first meal in the Boma, which was really pleasant. The whole group posed for pictures and the wine and chat flowed nicely before turning in for some good quality sleep.
Day 7 and a champagne brunch was on the cards. So why are you up early, Si?
Well, good morning. Amazingly, we've had a night without a storm, so some sleep. Fantastic. We're going out for a breakfast brunch this morning, and I think there's going to be some kind of competition between the various jeeps as well as we go out and do the drive this morning. And we've also got a game drive this afternoon, so looking forward to that. I thought I'd get up a little bit before everybody else and come and have my bran flakes. Anyway, join us for later.
And we were needing to be aboard our jeeps at 7 AM as we were first taking in another game drive on the Sebatana Private Reserve. This 3-hour drive took us to parts of the reserve that we hadn't previously visited, and giraffe, impala and kudu were good early morning sightings, and we were having loads of fun too.
There are not supposed to be the big five in Sebatana, but tracks spotted by our guide clearly showed leopards are roaming in the reserve. So Si and Jamie, why on earth are you out of the jeep and roaming the bush?
So we're off hunting for stuff to make a hat with in the bush. What you found, Jamie?
Well, I found something here that I'm not quite sure. I thought I could use it for padding because The guys seem to be getting on really well, but as per usual, the ladies have stepped up to the plate immensely, so they're very art and crafty. But everything I keep finding is breaking. But these things look like padding. I'm not sure what it is.
Right.
I'll probably find out it's poisonous, but
What you're planning?
well, what I'm planning is that once the girls have made the frame, this can fill out the frame.
Okay, cool.
So, and we've got some nice flowers that will look nice.
Yeah.
And we've got a head that we can use. Adam has volunteered his small head apparently.
Cool.
So this is what we're doing.
So there's a competition. On
There
which
is a competition.
Yeah, which of the 3 Jeeps can make the best hat?
Exactly, and it seems that Colin may be quite competitive because he does seem to be helping us quite a bit.
Cheers.
Superstar.
So this morning's drive had a twist, as our guide Colin explained that at the champagne brunch at 10 AM we were going to have to present some form of hat that was made solely from materials and plants gathered from the bush, and that we would be in competition with the other Jeeps. So as we drove, we spotted plants and materials that could be used, and we learnt these on our bushwalk earlier on in the week. So we also collected flowers and foliage and other things to make the hat look really pretty. Then we parked up and set to work building our crown.
What are you doing?
Well, we've got this bit as a base, and then we're using a special string from one of the plants, the bark, to tie bits and pieces on. And we're going to get the bamboo and we're going to cove it over that way and that way to make a bit more of a hat. And then we're going to tie some flowers on.
So what are you guys doing? You shredding bamboo?
Shredding
bamboo. Awesome. Ali, that big cane, is that if Jamie's naughty?
Well,
Each member of the Jeep had a role to play in making our crown that would eventually adorn Adam's head, and Donna created a story to go with it.
Once our crown was made, we proceeded to an absolutely stunning location where we were greeted by the Sebatana staff serving champagne. Champagne for breakfast.
Thank you very much. Nice champagne. Cheers.
This veranda set on a rock high above the reserve provided jaw-dropping views, and with a feeding area immediately below, wildlife spottings were frequent.
Zebra, warthog and vervet monkeys were frequent visitors, with one monkey brazen enough to attempt to steal breakfast, which was a selection of salads served with a warthog sausage and burgers. Very tasty.
The hats and crowns of each Jeep were presented, and each were works of art crafted from branches and plants gathered from the reserve. And members of the Sebatana staff were the judges of the competition, and they selected a worthy winner.
This had been a really fun morning, and the whole group had really bonded with laughs and jokes aplenty, and the champagne had flowed nicely.
Then back to the lodge for a swim and some much needed lounging in the sun. And at 4 PM we were again summoned for another game drive in the Sebatana Reserve, and our guide was determined to try and find animals we had not yet seen on the reserve. We spent a while looking for ostrich and leopards, but sadly were unsuccessful. But we did get one of the more incredible experiences of the whole holiday, when a large male crocodile decided to leave his watering hole and come and pay us a visit in our Jeep.
This amazing, if somewhat frightening experience had us all gasping in wonder at how close this killer crocodile was to us all. It was literally 3 feet away from Si, who was the closest to it, and quickly became the Jeep's nominated crocodile hat lunch option. We sat still taking photos as he sat there clearly curious about our intentions. Mother and baby crocs were of course nearby, and maybe he was doing what any good dad would do. After several minutes, we slowly crept away from this incredible scene.
Just had a very close encounter with a crocodile, came right out of the water, right up to the side of the Jeep.
How awesome was that?
And very scary. Scary indeed.
It was brilliant though.
Amazing. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
On we went across the reserve, and we made our way to a hide called Christina's Wallow. Overlooking a feeding area, we sat quietly as herds of impala came to graze, and the sun was beginning to set. Another beautiful setting.
Then a final attempt to find the elusive leopard and ostrich, but sadly no joy. But the sunset really added something special to this day.
Back at the lodge, our guide summoned us to the boma and served us local shots and spirits, which, shall we say, were somewhat warming.
Then we sat and enjoyed a lovely pork belly meal. One member of the group had her birthday, and the chefs paraded out with a lovely red velvet birthday cake too. Another amazing day at Sebatana was coming to an end, and we retired to bed.
We lay in bed exhausted, but so happy we had come to Sebatana. This really had been a fun week, and we wondered how tomorrow's final day could top all the amazing experiences that we'd already enjoyed.
Day 8 started with the sound of bongo drums summoning guests to breakfast.
Most of the group had signed up for another paid extra Big 5 game drive at the nearby Kango Reserve.
However, we had decided to give this a miss, grab an extra hour in bed and take a morning walk instead.
Well, good morning.
Morning!
It's our last day here at Sebatana. And yeah, I know it's sad, it's been brilliant though.
It's been absolutely amazing.
And this morning most of the group have gone off to the Kango Nature Reserve, or the Special Reserve, which is the one next door actually. We're not going on that. We've decided we're going to go for a walk in Sebatana because there are some walking trails here and we like to walk, so we're going to go and do one of those.
And we're going to see if we can get the giraffe selfie as well.
The important giraffe selfie.
Whether we will, we're out a bit later than we should have been out really, but we're so exhausted. That's the thing about this holiday. It's absolutely amazing holiday, but it's so exhausting.
Yeah, and we're out, we've just started walking, it's just gone 8 o'clock and the heat's already rising. I think it's going to be another really hot day today.
It's supposed to be up in its 40s, isn't it, today?
Yeah, but anyway, so we're going to go on our walk. We're going to see what we can see. Hopefully we get that giraffe selfie and we'll keep you posted as we walk.
So the big quest was for a giraffe selfie, and it didn't take long before a target was sighted. We spotted a giraffe.
We've spotted a giraffe really early on this walk, and we're going to try and get that giraffe selfie. It has spotted us. It seems a little bit startled. It's quite a way away.
Yeah, he's walking away. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, go big giraffe selfie. Okay, we'll just try and carefully approach. It's walking away from us. Okay, this is, not sure how this is going to pan out because he's coming closer to the road. He might be inquisitive. He's giving us a look. It's actually coming onto the road now. They have pretty big kicks. He might be just scarpering away now. Maybe he's a bit frightened after all. Maybe we're not going to get that selfie.
I grabbed a shot, but it was too far away. Never mind.
And not a wholly successful giraffe selfie, because I think he was a little bit spooked by us.
You never know, we might find some more.
Yeah, we'll have another go.
So we carried on walking, and this was a really pleasant stroll when...
So we've got more giraffes. Quest for the giraffe. So we've got mum and babies here, so we don't want to get too close because mums will do what mums do. So we need to be a little bit careful. But hopefully we can get close enough for the giraffe selfie. You tell me when you want to stop. Anyway, I think Nettie got a little bit too close again.
I wasn't close. It was that tractor.
Okay. Anyway, we'll have another go. There'll be more down here.
So we carried on, and then to our complete surprise...
Okay, we've just seen the mysterious ostrich, and it's here. Just behind the trees. We've got to be really careful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Can you see him? Yeah. There's the ostrich. We've seen one at last.
The ostrich, wow.
There are 2 ostrich by the side of the road.
This is awesome. Walking. They are an amazing bird. Look at them.
Not as spooky as the giraffe.
Wow, beautiful.
In fact, there are all 3 ostriches here.
Oh,
there are 3 ostriches in this reserve, and they are all here by the side of the road. Wow.
Cool. Wow. Look at those birds. They're absolutely cool.
I'm just starting to get spooked. Wow, look at them.
Beautiful.
Incredible birds. Bigger than our chickens anyway. And there's a giraffe in the background.
I think that's 2 females and a male.
Could be 2 females and a male, yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ostrich selfie.
Success! Ostrich selfie in the bag. And is that a giraffe staring at us?
Well, that was a thing, wasn't it?
We actually got to see the ostrich. We spent most of the day yesterday trying to find the ostrich, and we found it just walking out.
Wonderful. And you got your ostrich selfie.
I got an ostrich selfie and a giraffe selfie.
Well, there was a giraffe in the background.
Yeah.
As with all of these things, you can't get that close.
No.
But you probably don't want to actually give them a cuddle.
You can't get close. They're wild animals at the end of the day. It's not a zoo, so you know it's cool.
Really good. So anyway, giraffe selfie kind of ticked off. Ostrich selfie ticked off. So we're going on. We'll go for what should we do next? Impala selfie?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's go. Could be the Great Sebatana selfie tour.
Could be.
Okay, stay tuned.
So on we trek. Then, hang on, what's that kerfuffle?
What's going on here?
There's no leopard, is it?
Running, scampering.
Hope there's no leopard.
Hope there's no leopard around.
Oh my god.
We'll keep an eye.
I'm getting a bit scared now.
They're definitely running from something. So we've got to the sign that says Dunkerdam Hide, which is our sort of target destination for this walk. It's just down here, but it looks like off the main track. We've got to go through some of the bush to get there. But it also crosses the path where we just saw the impala scarper down through here. They came through here at a rate of knots, making a load of noise. So they were running from something.
Hope it's not a leopard.
Yeah, a leopard selfie is definitely not one I want to add.
I don't want that, no.
Okay, well, we'll gingerly make our way down to the hide and see how we go. So there's the hide down there, so we'll head to that. It'll give us a bit of safety, if nothing else. It does look like there's some female kudu just the other side of that, so hopefully get some views of those.
Just make sure there's no leopard around.
Just looking for the leopard as we approach. Don't want to get caught here in the hide either.
We had safely made it to the Dunkerdam Hide and settled in, taking in our surroundings.
Well, we've made it to the Dunkerdam Hide.
Yay! And we haven't been eaten by a leopard.
No, thanks for that. Ooh, there's a watering hole just in front of us, and we're just saying, should we go down to the water station? No, there might be crocodiles.
It might be a crocodile, you never know. I'd like to go and look closer, but yeah, after yesterday, that crocodile coming out, don't think so.
No, I think we're better and safer in here. Okay, so we'll just grab a bit of a chill time here, see if we can see any wildlife.
Yeah.
Rehydrate, and then we'll head back to the lodge.
Yeah. This was a beautiful moment though, and we sat and waited for the wildlife to arrive, and it was a family of zebra that stole the show, with the cutest baby zebra taking the lead from its mum. A very photo-shy chipmunk came to check us out too, but scampered away too quickly for a decent snap.
Time to leave this amazing spot. Me and Mrs. C deep in Africa's wilderness, surrounded by incredible wildlife. Wow.
As we walked back to the lodge, we reflected on our week here at Sebatana Private Reserve.
Well, that was an experience, wasn't it?
Absolutely awesome. I'm so glad we did it.
So the Dunkerdam Hide is an absolutely beautiful spot overlooking the watering hole there. And, you know, there was some beautiful views across the watering hole, and some family zebra came in.
Oh, gorgeous little baby. Oh.
Yeah, we saw a little chipmunk as well.
Yeah.
But it was quite hard to photograph because he was
Very quick.
we knew we were there, wasn't he?
He did. There's something in the water. We don't know. I don't think it's a crocodile, because I'm sure they would have tried to get the zebra when they came down to drink. But it was something.
Quite big.
Very big, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is brilliant. And it's lovely being on foot, isn't it? Actually,
it is. It is really nice. It's not too hot actually. Not as hot as I thought it was going to be. I think we've got a bit of a breeze, haven't we?
Yeah,
which helps.
And you do have to pinch yourself because, like, you're in the middle of Africa, you know, looking at all this lovely wildlife and nature, and thinking, well, what's in front of us? Could there be a crocodile, or could there be a leopard behind us?
Yeah. That's it. We're keeping together because, like, obviously in the wild, the leopards pick off the stragglers, don't they? So we're keeping together. Not far apart, are we?
It certainly is Cook's Explorer, anyway.
It definitely is.
And should you do a safari? Should a safari be on your bucket list?
I say definitely yes.
I totally agree with that. I mean, it's been exhausting, but what an experience. Amazing.
I don't care about the exhaustion. You know, you can get over it and sleep when you get home, can't you, at the end of the day?
This is really a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It is absolutely awesome. I don't think, though, I could do 2 weeks of it.
No, a week is enough.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks would actually kill me with these early starts.
Run out of energy. But at any rate, right, we're going to make our way back to the lodge now. The others should be coming back from Kaingo, so
we're hoping we can hitch a lift.
you never know. But what we'll do is obviously we'll check in with them and see what experiences they've had and see whether they saw more of the big five.
Well, we hope they've seen the buffalo, because that's the one thing that we haven't seen.
Well, we'll ask them when we get back. Okay, speak to you later.
And on the way back to the lodge, Nettie once again got to hone her ostrich stalking skills.
We were soon back at the lodge and arrived at the same time as the groups returning from the game drive.
We spent the rest of the morning and early afternoon swimming and chilling on the sun loungers, and it was soon time to get ready for our final game drive to Sunset Rock. The drive to Sunset Rock was relatively short, but this spot deep in the Sebatana Reserve provides spectacular views towards the west and overlooks the valley below and mountains where the sun sets each evening.
And although the cloudy skies did dampen the spectacle, it did brighten up, and this was a beautiful spot to spend our last evening at Sebatana. A lovely group of fellow travellers rose to the occasion and enjoyed the champagne and snacks that were on offer. Group photos, plenty of chat, even more champagne. This was a special moment.
And then a game, but that game is a Sebatana secret, so you'll just have to go if you want to know more.
Everyone has had a great week and we're revelling in the experience they have had.
Retiring to Elephant Lodge now, and the party continued with shots, beers and wines all flowing rather nicely.
2, 1, Sebatana!
Brilliant night, and we got to say thank you to the amazing Sebatana staff too.
What a way to end our week here at Sebatana, and it was time to crash and get some sleep before our long journey home the following day. However, things didn't go to plan.
Looks like we got a bit of a drama this morning. It's gone so well, it's been brilliant, but it's all gone a bit peak-tong this morning.
Yeah.
Because our flights have been changed and we got what looks like a 2-day delay here. We've had no written confirmation, no notice from either Newmarket Holidays, Hayes Travel, or even Virgin Atlantic. So the entire supply chain of this holiday has fallen over. Nobody's reached out to contact us. The lodge here is chucking us out at 9 o'clock this morning. We are hopefully going to get driven to the airport where we can make our own arrangements, but it is kind of like a fend for yourself situation here.
It's actually crazy, isn't it?
Real sour taste on the whole holiday
Such
experience.
a lovely holiday and then finished off like this.
What a shame, what a shame. So we'll keep you updated on how we are managing to work our way through this. We don't even know what the problem is. We've had no comms at all. And people have been trying to ring the emergency number for Newmarket Holidays. They
can't get through, can they?
Can't get through. They've been on hold now for 45 minutes for an emergency number, which is crazy. People running up big phone bills. Yeah, really, really poor. But, oh well, stay tuned and we'll keep you updated.
So our flights had been cancelled by Virgin at just a few hours' notice due to what they called technical availability, and we were in the complete dark with no communications from the holiday supply chain, and we only discovered this when other passengers tried to do online check-in.
And we were leaving wonderful Sebatana not knowing what lay ahead of us. The Sebatana team did their best to cheer us up by serenading us as our cases were packed aboard the minibus. Then we set out for Johannesburg. After an hour's travel, something happened, and our driver and guide turned the buses around and we headed back to Sebatana.
All smiles, we're back here at Sebatana. We left around about 9 a.m. and we are now back, and it's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock now.
We did 1 hour down there, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
so-
took us 1 hour, then they realised about our flights and then brought us back.
Yeah, it's been a very strange morning. So when we got up this morning, we were starting to get rumours from the other guests that there were problems with the flights. We've had nothing from Newmarket Holidays at all. Shocking.
No, we hadn't, no.
Nothing from Hayes Travel Pool, who we booked this holiday with. Shocking. Okay, so anyway, we left to Johannesburg Airport, and then an hour down the road, we were told we were turning around and coming back to Sebatana. So lots of activity.
We've got 2 days.
Yeah.
With food. They're going to throw in another game drive, aren't they?
They are. Apparently, there was a problem with the plane. So
Technical issues is what they said, wasn't it?
technical availability, I think was the
is it
exact phrase. Okay. Oh, they haven't got a plane to fly. So we're kind of stranded here in South Africa, and the resort have been great. They've taken us back.
5 managed to go, didn't they? There was a family of 3 which had a funeral to go to tomorrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they've had to make their own arrangements to get out of South Africa, and they're literally booking through another airline, just taking the matter into their own hands and getting out. Understandably, they've got a mum's funeral to go to, sadly, so they need to do that.
The other 2 just had a change of...
So another 2 guests had paid for the sort of the premium economy upgrade, and they seem to have been given priority and are being flown to Cape Town and then being sort of flown back to the UK today. But the rest of the guests that were just economy, well, we've all been told we're staying here for another 2 days, and And we've been told that by the resort, not by Newmarket Holidays and not by Hayes Travel. Okay, so it's been quite a frustrating morning, but bottom line is 2 more days in South Africa with the sunshine and the animals and the giraffe.
Sunshine. There's no sun out at the moment, though.
Well, there will be later.
Hopefully.
And impalas and all the lovely animals we've got here.
Hopefully we get to actually see the leopard.
It's just a shocking shame that the travel industry in the UK still has lots to learn about customer service, but never mind. Right, so update, we'll let you know how we're getting on, and we will update you as things go, and hopefully if we see some more exciting animals and have some more exciting adventures, we'll share those with you as well.
Yeah.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Although we had all booked through different travel agents, we worked as a group to mutually support each other and ensure we all knew our rights as travellers affected by a cancelled flight, and the group WhatsApp was vigorously pinging away for the most of the morning.
Back at the lodge, it was clear that the lodge management had decided to intervene and help us all, recalling us and trying to negotiate with the booking travel company called Newmarket Holidays. They told us that we could stay 2 extra days free of charge, made us feel valued and welcome again. Brilliant, just what we all needed.
And after some tasty lunch, a number of us decided to walk again to the Dunker Dam Hide, and we soon slipped back into safari mode.
We're kind of settling back into our usual routine. We're just going for a walk, and there's a group of the gang that are staying behind with us, and we're all going for a walk out into the reserve. We're going out together. It's quite nice. What a nice group of people we're with. If you're going to be stuck anywhere, you've got to be stuck here with this group.
And we don't worry about the leopard today because there's a big group of us.
There's a big group. So.
Not much wildlife seen, but all our chatter about our circumstances and the morning's events would have surely been heard by the animals a mile away.
So what's being discussed by the group here is apparently, so someone's been told here that the owners of Sebatana decided to unilaterally make the decision to call us back, knowing that we were going to be left stranded at Johannesburg Airport. You know, and this has been an amazing place at any rate, but that, if true, speaks volumes for the integrity of the owners here and why they're running such a great establishment. Again, still no communications from Newmarket or Hayes, although I have been trying to message them on Messenger. I had quite an interesting exchange with Hayes Pool, and an even better exchange with Hayes Bridport, who seem to be going above and beyond. Again, can't thank those guys enough down there. Hayes in Bridport, really, really good. They seem to be on the ball on customer service. Hayes Pool, sorry, not in the same ballpark. Anyway, so nice walk out here with the group. We're all sort of chatting about what it means for us over the next couple of days, and it's nice that we're going to have a couple of days extra here. You know, it's lovely being out here to see some impala. We've seen some dung beetles, we've seen all sorts of exciting things. Anyway, we're on this walk down to Dunker's Dam Hide again, like we did yesterday.
This walk was just what we needed, and we settled back into Sebatana life.
In the evening, the group enjoyed drinks and a fun trivia quiz, and we were all grateful that we didn't have to fend for ourselves in Johannesburg, and we were glowing in our praise of the team here at Sebatana.
Turned in, and at least we had a good night's sleep ahead of us. Day 10, and we all enjoyed a lie-in before tucking into a late breakfast.
And then a number of us decided to take another walk in the reserve.
So now on our extra days here at Sebatana, and got to pinch yourself really. Got all that chaos yesterday with the flights, and actually got 2 extra days here in paradise really. It's nice and warm t-shirt weather, and we'll have a bit of rain later. Now we're going for another walk. It's just me, and Nettie's staying back, but the rest of the group, well, about half of them are also going for a walk as well. So hopefully we'll see a few more bits of wildlife. We've already seen a nice tortoise, so let's see what else we can see.
But this time only giraffe and a tortoise were spotted. But it was good to exercise and enjoy our incredible surroundings.
After, it was a chilled day by the pool, with cocktails and a spot of lunch to break up the day. Again, in another act of kindness by Sebatana, they also laid on another game drive late in the afternoon, and we again boarded our jeeps and headed off in search of adventure.
This time we had a new guide who'd just finished his training, and he proudly announced that we were his first unsupervised game drive. So no pressure then, but boy didn't he do well.
But the drive did get off to a slow start, as we again went in search of the elusive leopards. No luck with them, but as we progressed we were treated to everything else this reserve has to offer, and this was a replay of the highlights from the earlier game drives. That's quite a haul and not bad at all for a first unsupervised game drive. Well done, lad. Top game spotting.
And the drive ended up with an amazing sunset too. The skies lit up with a collage of colour and the wildlife seemed totally unfazed as we sped past.
And back to the lodge for a final meal and drinks and a final Christmas quiz.
But by now, everyone was wanting to get home to their loved ones to celebrate Christmas. And as we supped the final mojito, we all hoped that our journey tomorrow would see us set foot back in the UK.
Our second final day at Sebatana started in a typical way with the drums summoning us to breakfast. Then we said our farewells to the amazing staff as we boarded our minibus. And for the second time, the staff sang and danced a farewell song for us. Wonderful.
And we set off on the 5-hour journey to Johannesburg, but South Africa seemingly wanted to keep us there just a little bit longer, and as we travelled through one of the small towns on the journey, our minibus was involved in a road traffic accident. Thankfully nobody got hurt and the cow bar on the front of our minibus prevented damage to the vehicle, so we were able to proceed and join the miles of queuing traffic heading to Johannesburg. But we eventually arrived at the impactful Apartheid Museum, but the delays had meant we only had an hour to experience the exhibits that explain how the people of South Africa overcame and vanquished the oppressive regime of apartheid. That said, even in the hour we had, this educational experience had a huge impact on us, and we realised that we should never ever take our freedoms for granted.
The hour went by far too quickly and we were heading for the airport, through immigration and time for a bite to eat before we again learned our flight had been delayed. Time then to enjoy South African whiskey and wine in the airport bar, and eventually we boarded and found ourselves snoozing on the long flight home.
Back in the UK, we said farewell to the new friends we had made and headed home for a family Christmas.
So our safari was on our bucket list, but did it deserve to be there? Well, we'd both agree that this holiday really did live up to our expectations, even with the issues with the cancelled flights.
South Africa is a beautiful country and its countryside is rich with the most incredible wildlife, and our joy of this holiday went far beyond the much lauded Big Five.
Everything about the animals and the people who call this place home really enriched our lives these 11 days.
It really was a joyful experience, and although we went on this holiday primarily to see wildlife, we left having enjoyed so much more.
And the animals were just wow, and we're not sure that we could ever visit a zoo again. Should a safari be on your bucket list? Absolutely. And what are you waiting for? Get one booked.
Would you consider doing a safari? Please let us know in the comments below.